guys, welcome back to another repair video series of Universal's Mr.Do. Mr.Do, it's got the official licensed by Universal. Is this made by Universal? I think so. It's got a Universal sticker up here. This would be the, it's got a little switch up here. What is that? Is that a credit switch? That's kind of cool. This is different. This is very different. Hey, there's a PAL. What is that? 16 R6 CN. I wonder, I'm going to try to dump that thing. I'm going to try to dump that PAL. See if I can anyway. I should be able to. Now that I have my new UNI pack for my Data IO 29B, I should be able to dump that guy and save it. Pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, Mr.Do, Mr. Duty. I have to make a harness for this guy. This is a 56 pin. I think I have one of those. Yeah, I'm sure I do. 56 pin. Is it 56? 28 and 28. Yes, it's 56. Okay. I always kind of looked at Mr.Do as the poor man's Dig Dug, to be honest with you. I just never was a big fan of Mr.Do. If Mr.Do and Dig Dug were next to each other, I was playing Dig Dug 10 times out of 10. That's just my personal preference. But as I've gotten older, I have really come to respect Mr.Do. You know, I know a lot of people prefer Mr.Do over Dig Dug, and that is just fine. Now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to have to archive for myself this Mr.Do ROM set, as I like to not always depend on MAME. I like to actually dump and file for myself actual ROMs off of games. You know, just it's peace of mind that, yeah, that file actually was in the chip that was on the board, you know. So, yeah, it looks like we got a couple bipolars up here, I think. Yep. A couple 8-bit bipolar ROMs. I can dump those. Yeah. Okay, cool. What year did this thing come out? 6116 RAM, right? Is that what that is? Yeah, that's 6116, I believe. An offshoot. And it looks like it's got some 2148s, maybe? Yeah, 2148, 49. This looks like some kind of... Ooh. Are those missing? Are those missing? I think somebody scammed these chips. We got some missing. I don't know if this stuff is missing or if that was not populated. I don't know. Look it up here. Generally, you do not see, I mean, that is super clean, so I don't know if it doesn't look like that was ever populated because it's so cleanly removed if it was removed. You know, it's all over this board. right here. I don't think those were ever populated. I don't see how they put this through a wave solder process without those filling up though. Very strange. I don't know. You know, back here too, same thing. Universal. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pull some info on this thing. What kind of CPU? That's a Z80. Good. Good. We have access. I can fluke this thing if I have to. So I need to go ahead and pull some data about this guy. Pinouts so I can make a harness and, you know, all that good kind of stuff. I'll look this up on you know, some fluke information, some memory handlers and stuff like that. Kind of prepare for the repair at hand. So let me go ahead and do all that kind of stuff, build a harness for this thing, and I'll be back. Okay, and my Mr.Do universal harness is complete. This thing does use an external amplifier for the audio, and if you see, it's got 2 channels going into this amp, as well as 12 volts and ground. And what I'm going to do is, I'm powering this off of my AR, so I'm just going to send both of these into the 2 AR audio spots, you know, audio 1 and audio 2 on the AR. See what happens. Should amplify it just fine. Just you know, use it just like an Atari setup. This is being powered exclusively off of my AR, and I'm using the AR to amplify, you know, the sound and stuff. So I got start and coin. I got joystick hookups. So yeah, the only thing this don't have, I don't see test. I don't see a test switch. So I was not able to wire up test. Yeah, so oh well. Okay. Alright guys, let's hook this thing into my harness here. It goes like that. That's the part side. Hook up the Mr.Do board and see what we get. Okay, as you can see, got it all hooked up here. And I've got it turned on. And it's working. Now I'm going to have to look up Mr.Do on MAME and see the colors. The colors seemed a little washed out. I don't know what's going on with it there. And I'm sure that this is just a sync issue with the monitor. You know, I don't know if this uses positive sync or negative sync or what. I don't know. Sometimes this Nintendo monitor just doesn't want to sync up to stuff. But it is missing. It's missing. Well, there's all the background. See, I might have to pull the G07 out and hook it up to this, because I can hook it up proper. I need to know what's going on with it. I can't hardly tell what's going on. I think I'm going to pull this up on MAME and play it and, you know, see what it's looking like as far as the colors and everything. Because I think we're missing some stuff. Yeah. Boy, I really need a... Anyone have a lead on like a Commodore 1084 monitor or something like that? I would love to have one of those. To have something truly universal, where I... No pun intended, universal. But to have something really universal as far as a screen. I've been looking for a 1084 Commodore or a nice big... you know, 15-inch PVM or something like that. I don't want none of them little. I had one of those little PVMs. That thing died on me. It crapped out. But yeah, I would love to have a nice, you know, 15-inch, one of those 15 whatever they are, Commodore monitors. But it's like they're becoming unicorns. You know, it's ridiculous. Can't find them anymore. Anyone have any kind of lead on that, or you got one you want to get rid of? Let me know, because I am in the market for one of those. That would solve a lot of my problems as far as, you know, displaying games properly. So anyway, I'm going to MAME this thing, kind of look at it and see what's going on. Yeah, I think what's going on here is it just doesn't have green. And the sound does work going through the AR, you can see. I'm going to coin up and play a game. I only have red and blue colors. Yeah, it's just red and blue is all I got. Bip. Okay, and you know what? When I first did my inspection of this board, I kind of looked it over. Let me show you something. I guarantee it. Well, I can't guarantee it, but I bet you that this transistor right here that was pulled out of the board is the green color transistor. I bet you. So I'm sure that's just a low, you know, small signal transistor, a 4401, probably NPN 4401, but it's got a different pinout. 4401 would be emitter base collector. This one's emitter collector base. So I'll look around and see if I got anything that'll work adequately in there. I think I do. I think I have that type of transistor. I'm sure any old small signal transistor with the proper pinout would work. So I'll see what I got, throw it in there if I can find one that I got, and you know, at least all the colors should be there, I would say. So let's do that. Alright guys, I have found the proper pinout transistor for that, and it is, you see how down, let me move this guy, and I'll just, trust me, it says emitter collector base across Pin 1 is emitter and then collector base. That is a 2SC1815 is the proper pinout. And I got that guy in the board, and guess what we got? We got green now. So we've got all three of our colors. And I know that little curl at the end at this monitor. I know that is the I'm sure that's just the sync to this monitor. This Nintendo monitor just doesn't like certain boards. But I think I could put the I can pull the G07 out and hook it up and see what it looks like. So let's go ahead and do that. But yeah, that fixed our color problem. So all right, let me go ahead and grab the G07 and hook it up. Alright, it's looking way better. No more curl on the edge, but you know why? It's because the composite sync on this guy is positive. So, I don't know if I'll be able to do this without a good light. I had to hook this to the positive sync. There we go. The positive sync is the composite instead of negative. Yeah, you can't really see without a light. But I had to hook it to the positive side. It's positive sync. But it looks good in the on the G07, which the Nintendo monitor only takes negative sync, and that's why it had the curl. Because I first hooked this up on the G07 with it hooked to negative sync, and it still had the curl. And then I got to looking at this, and you can see here that this clearly says vertical and horizontal sync to the monitor, but you can also do composite sync to the monitor, but it doesn't say anything about it being negative. It's positive sync. So there you go. You'd have to this thing would have to have a width cap to shrink this thing a little bit. This must have like a Pac-Man style resolution. Universal must have used a bigger resolution. And you use the little posts on the back to move move it down a little bit. But yeah, it's looking good. So we'll set up the camera and I'll play a little Mr.Do, a little sideways Mr.Do. Okay. Mr.Do. Let's point it up. And go. Dang it. Look like little Oscar the Grouches. Darn it, man. Mr.Do. That switch is a credit switch. That little micro switch on the board is a credit switch. Alright guys. Well, after that missile command, it's kind of nice to have a nice little easy one. This was just a missing color and it was a missing transistor. Someone had pulled that transistor off the PCB. But you know that if you have a Mr.Do that needs a color transistor, you can use a 2SA1815. There you go. Mr.Do. And you know, I could put my fluke on this thing and run a learn operation on it and learn all of the ROM and RAM information and stuff like that, and I could dump all of these files and put them away for safekeeping for if I, you know, I'm sure that MAME has the correct files, but I don't know, there's nothing like dumping the originals. And I'll try to dump this PAL too. I'm kind of curious about that. So alright, well, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Mr.Do, good to go. I'm going to leave this thing running on the board for about 4 hours. On the bench, I should say. Playing it periodically every here and there. I'm going to start it over. I don't want to have all these credits left on it. I'm going to restart it. And I'll play one game. And I'll put a score on it so that it'll have a score on it for the number of hours that I leave this thing on, so I don't have to sit here and watch it. Did it reset? No, I'll know if it resets because my score that I put up will be gone. But so yeah, and now you know that you can just use an Atari AR supply for this thing. I got the audio being the audio is being amplified on the AR board and sent to the speaker, just like Atari. So you can put you a Atari to Mr.Do adapter. There you go. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching again. This was a nice little easy one-parter. Mr.Do. And we'll see you back for the next one. I think, I don't know what I got next. I know I have all of that. All of that plus some stuff over here. See that one? That one back on the wall there? Who knows what that is? I got that here. I got all kinds of stuff backed up. Alright, we'll see you on the next one, guys. Thanks for watching, and peace out.